Now off you go.
My good friend Dave Morrissey, I'm pleased to say, is here. He's going to have a few words with you. Thanks, Dave.
Just going to wait a few minutes just to make sure that we have a proper stream. Okay. Yeah, hopefully now we'll get it proper this time. Black screen.
Black screen.
Yeah.
I'm okay squatting down, I'm
Are you
fine.
sure?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Black screen. So. Bear with me a few minutes now, Dave, and I just make sure that this.
Yeah, that's alright.
The writing's all mumble jumbo. Okay, you can walk away, they can see you.
So can I?
You want to sit down?
No,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
squat down, I'm fine. This is live now, is it?
This is live, that's where you are at the moment.
I see.
Okay.
I see. Hello all, how's it going?
No black. It's okay, no black. Oh, for fuck's.
Patchy reception.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Skyfy. How are you? Nice to see you here. Go on, off you go.
How many people are looking in on this
Yeah.
now? It varies, is it?
It does, yeah.
I just say it's a pleasure to be down here. I've been meaning to get down since I found out about this, which was only on Monday. But this is the first day I've had a chance to come down, and I have to say it's fantastic to see the spirit down here, because that's what there is. It's a fantastic, great spirit down here with people. No selfishness, nothing. Everyone just being good to each other, being good to Seamus, and Seamus appreciating. Whoa! Solidarity from Montana. Thanks very much. Solidarity from everywhere. That's exactly what we need. Just in case you don't know who I am, I'm the guy who originally started the anti-addiction task force about 8 months ago now, and I've let them do their own thing for the last while, but they've sort of persuaded me to come back. Quite happy to come back, and when I see the people working together like this, it's a no-brainer really. This is exactly what we need. Hello Tunisia,
Can everybody
nice
come
to
down
see
to
you
the
as
front
well.
gate here? We're going to talk about rosters and over the next few days how we're going to work things out here. Is that alright?
You'll have to do it from back there. I'm doing a live stream at the moment.
Live stream going on at the moment here, so.
No, live stream over here.
Anyway, there's a fantastic spirit going on here. I don't really have much else to say except I'll get down again if I can. Hard to hear. Maybe ask the others to stand back a bit. Or I'll get closer to this. No audio.
The audio's up to the last. Okay. See. Oh, you're okay there.
You have audio
yeah,
now, have
yeah.
Okay.
What's the volume like? Can you hear everything?
If you go a bit closer, I know you hear.
You just have this huge face in the middle
No,
of the screen
but
if you
you
do
won't
that.
harm. I can
You don't want to see
actually.
my ugly mug.
I can actually lift it up to you and hold it a bit back, but they might be able to hear you a bit louder. Do you want to do that? Are you happy doing it?
I'm happy doing it here.
Okay,
it's,
so-
it's grand, just as long as they can. Audio's repeating itself 3 times. Maybe we'll try a stream later on if it's a little better.
Are you staying for the night, yeah?
No,
No.
I'll be staying for a few hours, but I do have to get back tonight. Volume okay?
Volume okay. We go with UK. He says the volume is okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I trust UK.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to say really. I've pretty much said it. Whether they heard me or not is another thing.
Maybe start all over again.
Okay. Hello, New Hampshire. Nice to hear from you. Okay. I'll start again just in case the volume was wrong or it was echoing or whatever. The spirit down here is fantastic. There's great people down here, just being down here and supporting Seamus. But as Seamus says, this is bigger than Seamus. This is everyone needs needs to start doing stuff like this now.
Talk to you later.
And this is not about can't pay, won't pay. This is not about people refusing to pay bills. This is about quality of life. This is about people getting together and supporting people. Not about any kind of ism or socialism or communism or fascism or anything else like that. This is apolitical. This is people need to cop themselves on. They need to get down to support their neighbours. And that's what the people down here are doing. And that's it. There's nothing political about this, and there's nothing hard about this. A guy's about to be thrown out of his home because greedy people say he just didn't measure up in this system, and that's why they're here. And that's why they're threatening to come down here and remove him. Well, we're not going to let that happen. That shouldn't be happening in a civilised society. That is just not acceptable anymore. This has been going on in Ireland for far too long. It's time to stop that. Everyone, get off your seats, get out of Facebook and come down here. If you hear of it going on in your area, start doing it. Start contacting people you know are in trouble. Tell them to come out and talk to people and do it. That's what the community is about. It needs to grow, and it is growing. And that's pretty much all I have to say, and that's what the Anti-Eviction Task Force is all about, and there's nothing sinister about it, people. There you go. Thank you. And I think that's about all I have to say. That's about all I have to say.
Thanks, Dave.
No problem.
Today was my first time meeting Dave, and I have known him for quite a while on Facebook, and I'm delighted to get to meet him in person.
Yes, that's the other thing about this. You actually get to put faces to the names and talk to people face to face, which is always very, very nice because you see what they're really about.
And it's great when you get a good instinct about people, and you see it when you meet them, so I really, really like that. Basically, again, I'm going to go back to on a community level how it is so important to make a stand in your community. We're hoping to open up a network of communities around our country, so that if anybody faces eviction from now on, that there will be that we will be there to help them, basically. So a lot of us have met up today, and we've moved forward as a group and everything else. And personally, I've done a lot over the last number of years with activism and all that. Personally, I have been invaded by many hijackers that have completely destroyed causes which I've set up from the ground and the whole lot. And you know, I've decided that I've personally met a great bunch of people here in the anti-eviction group, and that I'm going to stay with that and devote 100% of my time to that now, because you can't. It comes home to you when you see a father of 5 being evicted out of his house,
Forcibly removed from the place he calls home. That's what it boils down to. There's nothing complicated about that argument. Would you like to have your home violated and you being dragged from your home? That's what this is all about. So any debates over I paid so you should be able to as well are completely moot. This guy has been told he has to leave his home. That is just not on. In a civilised society, it is not on. So people need to get off their high horse when it comes to their own little bubbles, because it may be Seamus today, it might be you tomorrow, and then if people don't stand up for you, you can't say that you don't deserve it. So.
I remember going back as far as 3 years ago, hearing that people in general in America, they were being evicted out of their homes.
Yep.
And I couldn't believe it. Like, people that have built up their homes for years and years and years.
Well, what I remember is when I was in school and I saw pictures of evictions from the 1840s, and it was repugnant. And it still is repugnant to see those, but the thing is, nothing has changed. It's still going on here today for the same reasons. The only difference is it's not landlords doing it this time, it's banks doing it, and it's Irish people doing it to Irish people. So the Irish people need to say, that's it now, enough of this. We need to move on from this kind of behaviour, this greed, this whole you either have enough money or else you're out on your ear mentality. Has to stop. And I hope this is a watershed, because it's about time we had something that people turned around and said, you know what, they're right.
Yeah. And as you want to know, Dave, that in our constitution, you know, I'm not too sure of whatever it is, what
It's
article.
Article 40.1.
But one, yeah, it's either 41 or 40.2, that the family home is inviolable. You know,
except in terms of law. Well, this is not law. This is legal.
yeah.
And there is a huge difference. And no law has been broken here. So how can they actually come down here and say that he has to leave? They cannot trespass if no law has been broken, and no law has been broken down here. I have yet to meet a nicer bunch of people on first impression than I did an hour ago, and it's nobody knows me. I don't know anyone here except for one or two people, and yet I feel like I've known him for a long time. That's what community is about. It's not about he has more than me or I have more than him, so I'm holding on to what I have. So there you go.
And again, you know, when I first came down to the farm yesterday morning, it was the first time I met Seamus, and I really got that sense of community was here and the whole lot and everything else.
Yeah.
I knew personally what Seamus had done in the past and how he has helped people and the whole lot. And it is great to see that some people, and I will say some people, have come out and supported him. But I really would like to see a lot more.
We want more people down here, okay? I'm not going to give the numbers away.
We won't stop until we get the people down here.
I am not going to give the numbers away of how many people are here and how many people are not here. But the fact of the matter is, on the Anti-Eviction Task Force Facebook page, there's 1,600 people. Now, you can be armchair warriors, or you can actually get off your ass and do something about it. Because I live 150 kilometres away. I could only be here today, so I'm here. Now, get transport if you can't. Just come on down. There's probably not much chance of anything happening this weekend with people arriving in costume, calling themselves Gardaí or receivers or anything else like that. But from Monday, who knows what's going to happen. Now, 1,600 people liking a page is great, but it doesn't do you any good if you're not going to get involved in what the page is about. So please, start doing things. Don't just talk about things, don't just approve of things, don't just like things. Start doing. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, we're all sick of the talk now, and as personally, you know, the anti-eviction group has decided to put all their strategy into action, you know, and that is so important, David, as you well know.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know, that we need to learn to stand up for each other, and that's it.
Well, we have to, because if we don't, no one else is going to. And if you thought last year's budget was bad, well, this year, despite passing the fiscal compact, when they said we would have a tougher budget, well, we're going to have a tougher budget. You know, do you want to make things better, or do you want to just hope it's going to get better? Well, I want to make things better, so that's why I'm here. So, get off your asses, people. Help. That's all it is.
I actually begged while ago. I actually begged people. I've never begged anybody in my life for anything, but that's how strong I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know, begging for people to support this, like.
Well, you have to speak from the heart, and I hope I'm coming across as speaking from the heart, because I'm not an arky guy, although some people might dispute that. But the fact of the matter is, this is something I feel very, very strongly about. I'm in the same situation as Seamus is, although it's not quite as advanced, but I'm looking months down the line and having to face this exact same thing. I would like to think that people would come out and help me, and if I hear that it's happening to something else, I'll do my damnedest to help them as well. So maybe there's a little bit of a different motivation in there as well, in that it might be happening to me, but it doesn't matter. It could be happening to you tomorrow. It could be happening to anyone tomorrow. Jeez, would you like to see your sister dragged out of her home? Is it her fault? No, it's not. So that's all. People just need to start developing a sense of community, which I feel is terribly lacking in Ireland since the Celtic Tiger. Well, we're getting a rude awakening now, and people really need to start rediscovering what a community is. And it's starting here, I think, which I think is fantastic.
Definitely. You know, we look at.
Hello.
And we have such a beautiful day here as well, lads. Well, Pat. Pat goes on the missing list. He doesn't like the camera at all. Pat's a bit like myself.
There's a great comment there. Tell feckin' Irish fairies to sort the prices and I'll be over in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I want to say, guys, you know who you are personally. I want to thank you so much for your time that ye have put into this personally, and ye have done a lot for me, and I want to thank you all, and I love you all to bits, and I hope someday I'll get to meet you. Okay, love you all. I'm going to try and get somebody else to come on here and speak. If I
They've heard
don't,
enough of me shouting at them, I think.
if I don't, I'm just going to leave it run. It might be a bit boring for a while. Okay.
Nice talking
back.
to you, people, even though it seems I was talking at you. It wasn't really, okay?
Okay, anybody? I see, there was a woman over here.
This wire coming out here, I know I'm going to cut off the power going to the shed, but can be somewhere of convenience in the shed with this cable as well. Gas having to bring the other wire back.
Which this wire here is it? You can work
No,
away there.
what
If you want to. You can sit down here, okay, and just talk away into the camera. They're all the people that are on at the moment.
Okay,
Yeah. So just say why you're here for Seamus.
starting right now.
Yeah, you can work away. It's on all the time.
Well, I'm Conran Etchingham. I'm a lecturer in history in the university in Maynooth in Eastern Ireland, and I'm supporting Seamus Sherlock's campaign because Seamus is quite clear that this is not just for himself. It's not just about the particular grievance that he has, but that he sees himself as a beacon of resistance in this country to all of the various injustices that are being suffered by or visited upon the Irish people in the last few years. And the threat of eviction is one that hangs over at this stage now tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people on the basis that so many people are in arrears with their mortgages or are likely to become in arrears with their mortgages. And so this seems to me to be the moment when serious resistance begins. So I want to be part of that action.
My name is Carmen McKenna and I'm from County Carlow, and I'm here today on Seamus's farm because I think it's time that we in this country stood up and took back our sovereignty. Sovereignty is mentioned in the Constitution, and I think it's a good word. The banks have taken over this country, as well as the Troika, and I think it's time that we took it back. It's time for the people to stand together, be united. We will not be divided. The government does not want us to stand together. It suits them to see division amongst our people. Now is the time to stand up and resist.
If Seamus heard that now.
I'm actually very tired, so I hope it makes sense. But I'm Mairead Mullen from Kerry, just supporting Seamus. I have since the ESB protest he did 2 years ago also, which was the stand he took on behalf of hundreds of thousands of Irish people who were experiencing difficulty with fuel. It was fuel poverty really, I suppose, was the main issue at the time, and Seamus has been a great campaigner since that time. He's kept up the momentum. He's tried to help as many people as possible. I'm here to help him as much as we can. It's the least we can do after all the work he's done single-handedly on his own the last few years. And I suppose you have to wonder really, when one man can do so much himself with virtually no resources, you have to wonder what's wrong with all the political parties in the country, that with everything they have, they haven't even done 1% as much as what Seamus has achieved in the last 2 years. So I want to be part of that. I want to be part of real change, and that people feel the change straight away. And just for clarification purposes, Seamus Sherlock does not want anything for nothing. He will pay his own way. He just needs a little bit extra time, that's all, and a little bit of understanding. And as I say, the only person who'll pay for Seamus Sherlock and his bills and everything is actually Seamus Sherlock. So nobody else is going to pay for this. I just think it's fantastic he's making this stand for so many of us. So I hope somebody else will get on and talk.
Thank you so much, Mairead. Look, Dave, jump on anytime you want. It doesn't matter if you want to make it.
What else I could possibly say?
Just want to make another point.
No, I think I've said everything that I can say without starting that too.
I know Mairead almost a year now, so she says it as it is, and which is good. We need to hear that as well. And at the end of the day, I know I won't be moved from here. And I know these guys won't be moved from here. There's no backing down here. And the way I see it now, if you don't stand for anything, it is worse than what our government is doing to us. And I hope the people will start to realise this soon. Hi Barb, how are you, sweetie? We need to get out there, lads, honestly.
I actually just add one thing into that, Sharon, that I actually didn't say. A lot of people actually can't even afford to make it here. They don't have the money for fuel, and they're messaging Seamus, they're texting him, and they're on Facebook messaging him, love to be with you but can't afford the fuel, and so there's huge support. Even though there mightn't be thousands of us on the farm, there's a good number of us on the farm here, but there's actually thousands of people who can't actually afford to be here, but the support is there at the same time, so good on everyone.
Yeah, and Mairead, when you see people coming down from Dundalk, you see people coming down from Louth, and you see people coming down from Belfast,
and trying to carpool from places way hundreds of miles away, trying to carpool, trying to save each other a few bob, and great community spirit. It's alive and well in Ireland. We hadn't thought it was for a while.
We have to develop it though.
It's getting developed. No, we're uncovering it. No, it's good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And as I said, guys, I love you all, and I know it's going on in your countries very similar as well. And I would support anybody, and I mean that. And it comes to a stage you have to get out there and support people. as I said, if you don't stand for anything in your community, you don't stand for nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
People who stand for nothing fall for everything, isn't that it? Fall
that is
for
so
all
true, yeah.
shit, fall for all the political lies and all.
You know, I read the newspaper this morning, and 3.6 billion to be taken out of our economy come this December.
I can't wait. We have a lot to look forward to.
And then it was they're going to take so much out of our education system that the children will have to bring their own toilet roll to school. Now, not alone are they cutting children with disabilities, but now they have to bring their own toilet roll to school. How? I don't know.
I think it's actually demeaning, and it's to lessen, I think it's to make us feel like lesser people. I actually do think overall that's the underlying current. It's like, I keep saying this, you'd be sick of me saying this, but I'll say it again. The only case this year that was publicised in Ireland regarding evictions was the eviction of an elderly couple from their house in Dublin. And while these people were mistreated, and they absolutely were, they were dragged out of their house, elderly people. I'd love to see drug dealers pulled out in the same way that these people were, but they were elderly people manhandled, completely dragged out of the house. But the thing about them was they actually had a large property portfolio, which they're quite entitled to have. I've no problem with that. But the point was they had 20-something other properties to move into. So our Taoiseach, this is the only case that our Prime Minister commented on, and he said that he couldn't figure out if they had 20 odd other properties, why did they wait to be thrown out of the one? But like, that wasn't the point. But it was the case that was publicised the world over, and I think the real reason he commented on this, the Taoiseach, and the real reason this case was publicised, it was actually to make shit of Irish people the world over, and there's no two ways about it, because what the message that went out there internationally was that Irish people were being evicted, not out of our family homes like this. We're being evicted out of mansions, or we've swimming pools and tennis courts, and we've 20-something other houses to move into. That's not the case. Like, 99% of evictions are the family home. It's like here, the farm. Seamus and his 5 kids farming away the bit of land, growing organic veg, very clean living people, very environmentally friendly people and everything. That's the majority of evictions, but that will never be publicised. Like, it's just, they take the wrong angle, and I do think it is to make little of Irish people and to make us feel bad about ourselves, and that we're all materialistic from the Celtic Tiger, and we've a Celtic Tiger hangover, and we don't want to give up our big cars and all this. People don't have anything. Like, when people can't even come down to support this, they are supporting it, but they can't support it in person because they don't actually have the money, the fuel to make the journey down. And Ireland is a small country. It's not going to cost you thousands to get from one end to the next. Like, I'd say €60 diesel would do you, but people don't even have it, and they don't have it between a few of them. So I think it's important we get that message out there, and especially with the recent eviction story, that it's just not on. It's the wrong one that they took to publicise. So I have to sit down, my knees are killing me.
Come on, sweetie. You're on a roll, dear, now, Maureen.
No,
Off you go home.
No, that's kind of it. Yeah, that was it. They just...
Yeah, I remember that case and everything else, and I kind of said to myself, what are they trying to highlight here? Like,
yeah.
You know, it was disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
We'll keep cool the pictures of that gate.
We're live streaming now. Just stick your head in and say, do for a second.
Come on, you didn't. That was all cancelled, hon.
Give a quick update is all.
This is the famous Seamus Sherlock. Say hi to him, guys. What an absolutely wonderful man. And I have to say that from the bottom of my heart. I told
Hi guys,
about you,
this is the ordinary Seamus. I don't know who she's talking about, but this is the ordinary Seamus. Just to say a big thank you for all your support. We've had a huge number of people here today. Really, 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 from the bottom of my heart and my children's hearts, a big, big thank you. We really have started something here, guys. Evictions went on in this country for 800 years. Well, they're just about to stop. As I've told everybody, my own family that tried to evict them 100 years ago, they failed. They're going to fail again. So, big thank you, guys, and I'll leave you in the hands of these lovely ladies to know what they're doing. And again, we'll keep in contact with you, okay? Thank you.
Thanks, my love. Alright, come on. You're good at this.
Oh, I don't know about that, but you were on about the case that those people, the elderly couple, I don't know, it's very wrong. The way, do you remember the pictures of them actually being dragged out of the house?
Definitely, yeah.
There's actually a man here today. It's funny because over the last few days, I suppose it's people coming and going, and there's been a lot of people, but we've all, you know, if you're on a gate for 8 hours of the night, you're going to talk and get personal and all the rest. And there's a few people here that aren't too far away from being evicted either. There's actually one man, I'm not going to name him, but he's 2 young kids. One is autistic, and like, it's just terrible. He was telling me their circumstances, and like, they're in mortgage arrears. They've done everything like Seamus that they're supposed to, go to the bank, talk to them, try and rearrange the schedule, and the bank having none of it. Like, there's all this rubbish out there about, oh, the banks are fine and you just need to go and let them know you're having bother and they'll reschedule. They won't. They'll often tell you to get lost. That's actually mostly they tell you to get lost. So this man here today, up on about his kids and their house, 2 kids under the age of 4, and they could be facing eviction. So he actually said to me today, he came down to support this. He would anyway, but he was actually very mindful of the fact that in 6 months he could be looking for us to go up to Galway, up to his house.
But that's grand. We will
be there.
We will go up there, you
Absolutely.
know, definitely. Oh, without doubt, you know, as I said.
There's no doubt in my mind that they'd evict that family out of the house. This man, his wife, 2 kids under the age of 4, and one of those children autistic. The very families we should be supporting and doing everything for.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and I hope that if people are out there at the moment and they are going through that, go and talk to somebody about it, because that's half the battle won. There's no shame whatsoever in being evicted from your house. And I mean that. Go and talk to somebody. There is always somebody that will be able to put you on to the right organisation or people that whatever, especially in Ireland, the anti-eviction task force.
Task force.
That was it. They're here in Ireland now for the whole 32 county of Ireland, and they're hoping to get a representative in every constituency and every county. So when they're contacted, hopefully they will be able to help each other out with all future evictions.
Yeah.
So.
I just see a comment there that somebody said, like, they're not going to have people with money to buy and live in the places that they repossess and stuff like that. Very true. Like, I don't see what's the benefit of throwing a family of 6 off a farm that is more or less sustaining them. It's feeding them. I mean, they've their organic veg out the back. What is the benefit to anybody of doing that? Like the Bank Scotland particularly, came in kind of at the end of the boom, and it was literally just like profit, and the minute there was any sign of trouble, just ran out of here. And crazy.
Usually properties like this though, they're always sought after by the bigger guys, you know. That's what you have to watch here and everything else. And as if you're well aware around America and all over the world, there's no such thing as a small farmer anymore. They're buying up every bit of land. So the small farmer will have nothing. You know, they won't be able to have the land anymore. We're actually going back hundreds and hundreds of years.
Backwards, yeah. Because say big farmers and all this were, like, again, I think it's down the Department of Agriculture and stuff. They don't want to deal with 5 fellas with 50 acres. One fella with 250 acres is much easier.
Yeah.
And it's progress, apparently, like, to put all the other small farmers out of business. Like, everything is weighted against you if you're a small farmer.
Oh, without doubt. Without doubt. You know, I mean, you remember with the referendum that we had the last time, and how the farmers were were blackmailed into voting yes, and they'd lose their grants if they didn't vote yes. That's how bad that this country has become. You're threatened to lose your grant if you don't adhere to the government. You know, that's sad.
Yeah. That's all it is, threatening and scaremongering, or if you do hit arrears, or if you are with a late payment, you know, you'll have bad credit history. I'd like to meet one person in this country that actually has good credit history. I think I'd like to touch them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe they exist. I think everyone has missed a payment or has been a little bit late, or, you know, like, has had trouble. I mean, I don't know, and there's just not very much understanding there, and we're a few years into this now, and they haven't caught on that they have to be more understanding with people.
Yeah, I was watching. I was reading a book last night, and it's called The Shock Doctrine. I tell everybody.
Naomi Klein.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
So I managed to download the DVD ages ago. So a few of us were watching it in the cabin last night, and it was. I just, my mouth was just open, like the difference between reading a book and actually seeing a video, like it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, all the economics, what was going on around the world in 1930s, went on to World War II. Then there was a fantastic big football shite sport came up, and everybody forgot about it in the whole lot, and how that same routine was repeated. Yeah, you know, fucking people want to start looking back in history and to see that it's
just a repetition. Yeah.
But what I noticed was that when it first happened, there was a break of maybe 20 to 25 years of it, okay? Then it went down to 20, then it went down to 10 years, and now it's actually gone down to 8 years. So it's happening a lot regularly now, the actual...
Jesus.
You know, it's well worth, I have to say, it's well worth a watch. And specifically, I'd be interested in, there was a great part about the farming side of the industry in that book as well, and it gives you great knowledge what happened in America, how everything was taken off the farmers, and the bigger farmers got everything in the whole lot. Sure, the exact same thing.
Yeah, same here, just people haven't cottoned on yet that that's what's happening. But
I'm nearly running out of time on this, guys. I say I have about 5 minutes left. So, I see you last feed, you're back. I didn't even take much notice. I'm going to read some of the comments just to let you know that I am actually looking at the comment box. Jesus, that's an awful lot of foreclosures. 9,000. So sad. You know, it's so sad. Do you know, I don't know. I suppose there's only so much you can do. And the foreign investors now doing the pickings. You know, they're getting ready for the next bunch of corrupt plonkers. I was going to curse, but I'm not going to curse. Leeches that are coming on, you know. That's all what it's always about, like. The corruption and the cartels, and I would call them mafia cartels that run in this country is...
And I see there the supermarkets putting dairy farmers out of business. Absolutely. Supplier
definitely.
Power. The way and they're at it here, you know, and the farmers, it's nearly not worth their while farming in terms of dairy anyway. I know Tesco and stuff have hugely affected the price, like the farmers are recovering on the milk and stuff like that. It's crazy stuff. Yeah.
Definitely, you know, but they're all interlinked again, Maureen. The IFA, Kerry Co-op, the whole lot and everything else. A nice little golden circle they have going there. And
I'm not being racist, and I do not want this to be taken the wrong way, but the fair trade for the third world countries, I absolutely support it, but it's nearly getting to the stage where we need the same kind of co-op, or that, whatever you would call that. We need the same kind of brand here to show that the farmers have been treated.
Definitely.
Isn't that terrible to say, like, that we're allegedly a first world country, but you know that it's gotten, you know what I mean,
know,
like that.
But I honestly feel that by the time these leeches have finished with us, we will be a third world country.
Yeah, I think so.
You know,
absolutely.
You know, as I said, you know what we're talking about here, because it's probably happening in your own country. You know, and I admire the people that get out there and do something. I admire Occupy so much as well, guys. Well done to the whole lot of you. You know, Occupy gave us a voice, you know. Okay, I have only about 2 minutes left in this. I'm going to go, guys, and I should talk to you later, hopefully when the generator gets back up again. UK, you're up and down. What has done to Ireland was orchestrated at the same time all over the world for the past 15 years. Definitely. definitely. Do you know, it's a ripple effect, like.
Yeah, that's it. The same.
Okay, guys, I'm gone. We'll talk to you later. Love you all, and thanks for streaming this out for me. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, bye, lads.
Bye.
That was a good long.
That's cool.
Do you know?